Welcome to SaTAROTday with Salann. Let's see what's in the cards for you today.
Welcome back to SaTAROTday. So it has probably been, 3, maybe even 4 years since I've done SaTAROTday. Life happens and other things tend to stop. Now, I never gave up tarot, just no longer really had the joy I used to get of getting up at 5 in the morning to record this and do all the things that I need to do to edit a video for tarot. So it kind of fell by the wayside. But now it's time to get it back together. I'm hoping I'll do a SaTAROTday every Saturday, but there will be days where I'm not going to get it done, and that's fine. We're keeping this the process the same. I'm doing just a couple of cards for a weekly read to talk about how things are going right now. Maybe get some energy out, or if it speaks to you specifically, then that's what it's for. Now, if you've known me or talked to me at any given moment, you know my theory on tarot is that it's really good at pulling in universal energy and kind of telling your brain that, hey, you got to think about this thing differently, or here's where you need to refocus your energy, or pay attention over here, look at me. That's what tarot cards are. So with that, in this short little reintroduction back in, we're going to jump right in and do SaTAROTday on this fine May 16th, 2026. That is how long it has been. So I'm going to be using today a really cool tarot, and I thought it fitting because it's one of my favorites. It's the Prismavisions Tarot. Prismavisions Tarot is by James Eads, and I have all of James Eads' decks, everything about them. I just love the imagery and the way that it works. Now, these decks that he builds, especially the 3 main ones, the minor arcanas can be laid out in entire murals that walk through each different aspect of that minor arcana. So they're just beautiful cards. And so I highly recommend them to anybody who's like, well, I don't know if I want to really get into tarot, or maybe I want to, look at a deck that's just really pretty and see how it works. This is one. If you like watercolors, you like art, this is just such a beautiful deck. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. But we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to pull our first card. Our first card is the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is obvious. If you want to start the easy stuff, right? It's the leader. Emperor represents having the control, willpower, and really organization of, knowing where all the strategic points are, making strategic connections. The Emperor shows up when there's this high masculine energy in us. That's not to be conflated with male. We're just talking about the masculine energy. Think more hermetically, right? These are energies that are active and impulsive and creative and actionable and starting. So the Emperor is really telling you, let's gather all of this strength and control that I have and use it wisely. Let's make sure our strategy is right. Let's make sure that we understand where all of the players are in our kingdom, in our world. Maybe something's a little off center. You're trying to figure out, I don't know what to get back into. I don't know what to pull to get things lined back up. There's so much going on in my head. Well, the Emperor says, you've already got it lined up. You just got to strategically place it and talk about it. So put it down on paper. A lot of times what will bring in some good Emperor energy is always meditation and grounding, but pulling in energy of the sun, the solar fourfold breath, and just gathering the energy of life that you have and saying, what is it that I really need to do? So clear your mind, focus, and then the things that you need to know will happen. So it's really all about finding what that strategy is. What is that tactic? What is that layout need to be to get where you want to go? Our second card is the Knight of Swords. All right, so the Knight of Swords. Now, we've talked about these for years. Swords are, for me, air. They often represent conflicts or decisions that need to be made depending on what card we are. Now, also, if you know me in my reads, The court cards usually represent the reader. I'm sorry, not the reader, the person I'm reading for. So the querent, as it were, or you, or general energy. So think about when the Knight of Swords comes up. This is a person or an archetype that you need to tap into. So we're already talking about the Emperor, right? So we've got this masculine energy of strategy and trying to make things placed properly so that it does what we need it to do. Now we're adding in the Knight of Swords, which is this courage and this thought of what's coming. The Knight of Swords really knows how to address conflict and manage conflict, right? With the subjects, with the people of the kingdom, and with anybody who comes to seek him for guidance. He's going to be like, take the courage one, have the forethought, think of what's coming down the pike, and really make sure that we're using ourselves strategically and intelligently and logically. Air is very communicative. It's very academic. So when the Knight of Swords shows up, he's basically saying, hey, pay attention to this Emperor energy that we need, right? Let's pull in a good strategy, but we have to be willing to act. We also have to be willing to wait and have patience and courage and think of what we need to do to act, which is going to take us to our next step, our next level. So that's our Knight of Swords energy. And then our final card for right now is the King of Wands. All right, so we're staying in the theory of this masculine energy, Emperor, Knight, King, right? So the King of Wands. Wands is this much more energy and active card as far as the fire of passion and things we want to create, right? So the King of Wands is all about nobility and maturity and this like inner strength of, yes, we can do that. Yes, let's do this. Yes, let's make this bigger. Yes, let's build. Let's grow. Let's pull all these things in. Again, court cards bringing in that energy of a person. So this is either you or somebody very near you that's in your sphere, and it really wants you to think, how can I make this passion project go? How can I pull in my strength and nobility and really create? One of the things that's really important to me in tarot is trends, symbolism, groupings. So in this, we have all masculine energy, so that's really important. So let's think about this next week of drawing in masculine energy, draw in the sun, do things in the bright daytime. This is a hardworking image of power and creativity and really sun energy, right? That's what the masculine energy is in a lot of folklore and mythology. But take this trend or this idea as you're seeking balance always. So when this much masculine energy comes up in a read, it's telling you to bring in that masculine energy to continue balancing out where you are. So definitely need to do that. Also, we see just wands and swords right now. So these, if you think of wands and swords, right, they're phallic symbols. They're very directorial. They're extensions of us. Like if you have a wand or a sword, it's an extension of you, right? So think of it that way. Wand is creating energy. Remember, you have your wand, that's your point of focus, right? And your swords with conflict help you make decisions and help things get cut and pulled away and altered. So those are the energies that we need to bring in and kind of build up to meet the demands of this week. So I know this one was relatively short, but I wanted to get really back in and share some SaTAROTday with you guys. So I hope this gives you a little bit of direction, and I really hope you enjoyed today, because we will be doing more and more SaTAROTday. We'll get back in the habit. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.